How's it going, guys? This is Ketchup here once again, and I really want to shed some light on the corner game of Triborg. Now, first things first, you guys will notice that I'm playing as Cyber Sub-Zero. This is only to demonstrate an idea. Now, we're all very familiar right now with Cyber Sub's corner game. For those that haven't seen it, it's a very dangerous place to be when you find yourself against Cyber Sub, and I'll show you what it looks like. So you combo into his Ice Ball, go into your drone, and then you combo into the Dive Kick, and then do 2-1, 1-1-1-2 into Ice Bomb, and set up some kind of hard to blockable. Combo back into the, when the opponent gets frozen, combo back into Dive Kick, 2-1, 1-1-1-2, and you pretty much loop this kind of situation indefinitely until the opponent dies. And you loop this over and over, and basically the reason this works so well is because of the long knockdown of the 1-1-1-2, right there. So first things first, I really want to show you this, in that the 1-1-1-2, look at the knockdown times on the ground, look at how long they're on the floor for. Okay, now look how long they're on the floor for if I do this airborne. Oops, gotta catch them a little bit lower. As you can see, they're on the ground for significantly longer if you do an airborne 1-1-1-2. Now, this doesn't apply for every string in the game, but for some strings that cause almost like a splat effect. When the opponent is airborne, when they get hit by that string, they're in the air for longer, which means they're on the ground for longer. So basically what that means is you have more time to set up your knockdown stuff and then press a button before they can stand up. Now, with that in mind, let's not forget that the 1-1-1-2 is a universal string that Triborg gets across all 4 variations. So the first thing I've done really is I've taken the Cyber Sub-Zero corner game and I've gone, well, how can I implement that into my Sektor game? Because that is a long, substantial knockdown, and we all know that a good way to pressure the opponent is with up missiles and homing missiles. So is the 1-1-1-2 long enough to set things up which allow Sektor to have rather scary pressure on the opponent's wake up? And the answer to that is yes. Basically, I've got fighting against Ketchup for a solid reason. He's going to be on wake-up attack into the overhead sword smash. Now, when he stands up, he's going to do a wake-up attack. This is a notoriously decent reversal. It's armoured, it's fast, good damage, good hitbox, hits twice. So basically, long story short, it's a very good attack that when you fight War God Ketchup, you will always get hit by this on the opponent's wake-up. It's just part of it. It's a really strong attack. However, Sektor can utilise the airborne 1-1-1-2 in a specific setup which will armor break the vast majority of armoured reversals in the game, and I want to demonstrate that setup to you right now. There you go. And that loops back into itself. You can even armor break with the low if you want. So basically what's going on there is we're comboing into Sektor's teleport uppercut. We're doing a very instant run into a late 2-1, 2-1, 1-1-1-2, instant homing missile into 1-1-1. This can be easily hit confirmed back into a teleport uppercut, as you can see there. So what's going on here is that we're able to combo into the teleport uppercut, but we're making sure that we are still ending the opponent in the corner. And because we're there in the corner, we're able to get 2 reps of the 2-1, and the 1-1-1-2 does solid damage. Even meterlessly, if we land a regular punish like this, instant run, 2-1, back into itself. Let's try again. Even meterlessly, that does good damage, okay? So it does 32% damage without spending any bar, and then you can opt to spend the bar on the meter burn rocket at the end, which guarantees pressure on knockdown, and if they try and do the vast majority of reversals in the game, it consistently armor breaks with the 1-1 or the back 3. This is really strong because the 1-1-1 into 1-1-1-2, 1-1-1-2 on block is plus anyway, so if they block and wake up, you can just hit confirm on block into 1-1-1-2 and be plus if you want, or you can enforce a low threat, which obviously means that you can potentially enforce back 1 if the opponent does a tech roll. Now, one thing you'll notice if I do this setup right here is if I do my back 1, you'll see that I don't have long enough to enforce a 50-50 after the setup, with the exception of if the opponent goes for a tech roll. Because let's not forget, this goes for a long splat. The opponent is splat for a long time, so if we combo into this, if he gets splatted and then tech rolls, it will then armor break and give me my overhead. So if the opponent goes for a tech roll, Sektor can do a very meaty after homing missile back 1 or a back 3. However, they have the tech roll, so there is going to be an element of reads there. Now, the reason this is a really strong setup is that when you knock the opponent down, I do need to keep him on wake-up attack, actually. Your up missiles themselves provided you time it correctly, are completely safe. So if I combo into the knockdown here, and then do up missile into block, I'm completely safe, which allows me to punish the opponent's wake-up attack. Normally, the up missiles take about 40 frames to start up. This takes a long time. So the opponent is more inclined to go, oh, he's doing up missiles. I've got some kind of charge, fast, special attack, which I'm going to use on wake-up to blow up those up missiles and just go straight past them. When I have the opponent in the corner and I do this setup, the up missiles are completely safe. Up missile into block, and then punish the opponent for doing that, which allows you to loop back into it. If you do forward 1-3 teleport, if your timing is right, you can always do the late run into 2-1, like that, into up missiles, and it's completely safe, which allows you to punish the opponent after they've done an unsafe move. And that's one of the magical things about this, in that what the up missiles will do is, because they're totally safe, it will enforce more of a knockdown game, because they know that they can't really press buttons. If you do the missiles on yourself, it's very tricky for them to really do anything, because almost everything they do is a risk, which is in your favour. If you do up missiles on yourself, if they wake up attack, you block and punish them. Or these outright hit them and you punish them with that anyway. Or they try and press a button because you've done up missiles. They walk straight into it, allowing you to punish, going straight back into this setup once again. And you get the knockdown, enforce homing missile, armor break, and even that, as you can see, because he did tech roll, it just came out so earlier. I mean, that really is one of the magic things about this setup, and that it covers a lot of grounds and enforces Sektor's threat as they stand up. Now, there are a couple of things I want to quickly talk about. First things first, the really quick advancing specials, you need to make sure you get more of an airborne knockdown after this. Just to kind of be a little bit safer. So what you're going to have to do is do the late 2-1 into an early 1-1-2 into homing missile. That much more consistently armor breaks than when you do 2 reps. Obviously, the lower they are to the ground, the harder it is to set up that homing missile. So 1 rep of this, as you can see, knocks them in the air for a really long time. So if you're against someone like Sub-Zero or Kung Lao or Melina, if you're trying to bait out a regular roll, you really kind of have to only do 1 rep of the 2-1, because it leaves them in the air for a bit longer. And then once you get the splat, you basically go in and can block basically much safer than if you didn't. Oops. As you can see, the timing's a bit strict, but it's definitely learnable. It's just I was only been practicing with it for a small amount of time. But as you can see, that's kind of the idea, guys. I really want to demonstrate just a core mechanic of being able to safely combo into the 1-1-1-2 for the airborne knockdown, because you're able to reposition yourself. So just once again, combo into teleport, run into a late 2-1 into 1-1-1-2. Homing missile. This can be easily hit confirmed back into a teleport, and that loops back into itself. So that's just the base of the corner pressure, and it's all because of the 1-1-1-2. This is available across all variations, but this is one of the applications that you can use to break armor, bait wake-ups, apply safe rocket pressure, which is a very important factor, safe rocket pressure, and on hit will loop back into itself if you have the execution to run back under them and do a late 2-1 once again. So that's basically that, guys. I wanted to demonstrate mainly the idea behind this, and obviously as time goes on we will further develop these setups, but that's basically the idea behind the corner pressure. Okay, so this is an effective way to get pressure. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Take care.